Hi, well, I've been wanting to do a review on this bike for quite a while, and my beautiful wife has bought me one of these cameras, Drift Ghost S, and I've just sort of got it all rigged up on my helmet, and I thought, well, I'm going to do a review on this bike because I think everybody knows what I'm going to say. It's fantastic. I mean, I've had a few problems with it. One being the forks. But a lot of people tell me that's due to pulling wheelies, um, landing wheelies to be more specific. Basically, you know, after a while of doing wheelies, landing wheelies, you start getting a scoring on this black coating, and then you know, obviously next thing your fork seals are leaking. So that was one problem I had. Both of them started leaking. What else? I've had my subframe crack when I first got this bike back in 2011, I think it was 10 or 11. I did an endo on it, and the subframe just cracked right there. We can see I've got a plate on there, welded on there now. Anyway, I bought another one, put that on, and it did the same. It cracked, so I put this back on, welded up, so it's nice and strong, because I don't want it happening again. I mean, I have my wife up back of here, that's why I have this grab rail on, and it's just not worth it. I don't know, they made this Suzuki light, but I don't think they made it that strong. I mean, you know, the frame recall, that was a bit worrying, because the frames have been snapping or something. Anyway, I've had the recall done. That's like a brace in the back of here somewhere, and it strengthens it. I've recently had this master cylinder done. That was a recall as well, and they put another pipe on, and I don't know what that was all about, but anyway, I've got it done. And well, I also like to stay standard. A lot of lads put cans on, exhaust cans, but they end up dumping the exhaust valve, which you know, it's there to gain you more power through the rev range. It's designed to open and close, give you more power from that engine. You know, Suzuki know what they're doing, so I leave it on there and keep your mid-range torque. So what else can I say about this bike? Well, I think everybody knows I'm going to say it is absolutely fantastic, as powerful as you could ever want from a motorbike. I mean, 187 mile an hour, what more do you want? Handling fantastic, light, looks great. I mean, you know, I was toying with the idea of getting a busser, and the big, clumsy looking, heavy, horrible looking things, I think. I mean, they're alright, but they just look, I don't know, they're not my sort of thing. Anyway, I had this small, nimble, and I've never had anyone on a busser even touch me anyway, so yeah, fantastic bike. I think that's the only problems I've had. Maybe one little problem. Sometimes when you're looking at your gear, you know what gear you're in, you'll be in third and it's in fourth, but it's, you know, soon adjusts itself again once you change gear. It sorts itself out. Yeah, so basically, fantastic bike. I mean, the colour scheme, this is an American import. That's why I've got this red colour, and I've not seen many of these about. The front, I bought it with some cosmetic damage, so I changed this front cowl. It was all smashed and things, but I bought this black one. I was going to spray it red, and then when I actually put it on, I thought maybe it doesn't look too bad, so I just left it. You know, there's a few scratches here, but it's nothing. Nothing, because I mean, this is my. I've got two of these. I bought one new, and then I always have a second bike for, you know, track days, strapping stuff on, wet days, and this is why I bought this, just to use up, and it has been fantastic. So yeah, I bought this. I think it was 2010 or 11, with 2,000 miles on it. 2,000 miles. That's all it had. You know, obviously somebody had a bit of a whoopsie daisy on it. So I bought it, fixed it up, and it has now got. Let's have a look. I think it's nearly 40,000 miles. So I've done, you know, sort of 36,000 miles on it. So I've done a lot of miles. 38,000 miles on it, the idiot. So there it is, 40,000 mile bike, burst straight into life. Lovely. I have my sat nav port there. I've put sat nav in there. I've got a power point under here for plugging in chargers, with temperature gauge and everything. So I'll keep waffling on. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this, because I've never had a camera like this. So I'll take it for a little spin. I'll try and keep on slowish roads because the wind noise does get quite a bit. Yeah, it does get quite noisy, the wind, so I won't. I mean, I'll keep on these B roads so I can talk, and then just keep quiet if I get on any fast roads, because you won't be able to hear me anyway. I don't think I've got this microphone set up. I don't know if you can see that red light flashing on my handlebars. That's it's recording my camera. So yeah, what can I say about this bike? I mean, handling, I've had lots of bikes, 400s, 600s, Fireblades, all kinds, and it's better than them all. It's fantastic. I just remember the day that I bought my new one, and it'd be like a week before, and I had a 1998 Fireblade, and it was low mileage, lovely bike, mint, beautiful, and I turned up with all these lads, and they're all on the newer bikes, and it just looked so dated, and I thought, well, oh, it'll be fast, you know, it's still fast, and them lads just left me for dead. The bike, the suspension was crap, it didn't handle, and it was just that day I realised, get something more modern, and this is what I like the look of. I mean, there's a Kawasaki had come out, a green, horrible looking thing with dame head and the headlights. I didn't like that. I'd always had a couple of Hondas before that. I didn't like the new look of the Fireblade back then. I just thought it was a bit, I don't know, I didn't like it, but I looked at these Suzuki and I thought it looked fantastic, especially in black. I wanted a black one, I never got one, and after that I thought I'm going to have one, and so I decided to treat myself and bought one brand new. I'm not on that one, I'm on this one I bought in cosmetic damage, and well, I've never looked back. What a bike. I run it in, the new one, and then in the manual it said, use as Suzuki intended. And fuck me, what a surprise I got. I mean, 100 mile an hour in first gear, it'll do 187 in fifth, and you've got 6 gears. It's absolute rocket ship, brilliant bike. And I've never had anything else since. I've had other, you know, I've got a few bikes. I've got, you know, I've had all sorts of bikes. but you just can't beat jumping on this bike. It's just so powerful, it's so fantastic. I mean, you just do anything. Fantastic it is. I'll tell you about this engine as well. I mean, it's got like nearly 40,000 miles on it, and all I've done is change the oil and filter regularly after every 3,500 mile, without exception. Always look after it, but that's it. It's not had a clutch, it's not had any like the valve set or anything. Just change the oil, semi-synthetic oil. Been fantastic, never let me down, never missed a beat. Been brilliant. And I mean, fucking hell, 38,000 miles I've done on it, and I still can't get enough. Every time I go out, I don't want to go home. And you know, it's like September, end of September now, and getting cold and getting dark, winter's coming, and I'm just, I don't know, I'm going to get withdrawal symptoms, I think. Anyway, I'm just trying to keep the speed down so you can hear me. I mean, my wife says I've got quite a noisy helmet, so maybe time to invest in a new helmet. So yeah, other than the subframe cracking, I don't know why. Well, I know why when it happened, because I did an endo, and when I landed, I just heard this crack. But I mean, I've had, you know, as I say, I've had a lot of bikes and done all sorts of daft stuff on them, and that's never happened. I think maybe Suzuki have sacrificed, you know, the weight, made it so light. I mean, 166 kilo. I think it's the lightest 1000cc sports bike ever made. And I don't know, they're doing that. I think that it's just a little bit, maybe made it a bit weak. Yeah, so I mean, when them frames were cracking, that had me worried. I got to land a wheelie, and next thing, it cracks in half. But anyway, other than that, it's been fine. And well, it's just fantastic. But I mean, even miles per gallon, because I'm a bit of a, I like to be a bit of an eco man sometimes, and you know, I would like to know what bikes are using. And well, I've read in one of the magazines, and it said how good it was. It said it was good, and at the end it said it was thirsty. Now, it might be thirsty if you're caning the fucking living daylights out of it all day, every day, but everywhere. But I mean, they've tried to get as much power as they can out of the engine. You know, they've made it so efficient. So every ounce of petrol you put in, you're getting power out of it. So, you know, it's a very efficient bike. So when it's geared up 187 mile an hour, when you're not doing that, it's just ticking over. I've been out on this bike, and I don't know whether anyone's going to believe me or not, but I've had 60.4 miles to the gallon out of this bike, and that wasn't just pottering along, and you know, that was getting on, passing cars, and you know, going quite quick. So it's pretty good on juice. And I mean, if you do send it on, you know, you'll go as fast as what you want, come back, and it's still done 40, 45, 50 miles per gallon easy, unless you're going like an absolute lunatic. So it's good on fuel, comfortable. That's another thing. I had an SRAD 600 Nipilar bike, yeah, great, 160 mile an hour. Thought, oh, you know, I had it as my second bike, like normal. Strapped me all my tent on, went up to Scotland, up Fort William. Fuck me, crippled myself. But this thing, you can ride it all day. It's lovely. You just nice neutral position, not too much weight on your wrists. It's great, comfortable. I mean, I like them. I've got some Bridgestone tyres on at the moment because I actually bought a set of wheels for it, this one, because after 38,000 miles, the front discs were fucking shagged. We were all braking and they were warped, and I mean, you don't even realise either. I was there riding along and front end would be shaking like mad, but it just creeps up on you, you know, as the brakes, as the disc warp and wear, you sort of, it creeps up on you. You don't realise it as much until you ride something else and think, bloody hell, my bike's shaky. And the discs, they warped to hell, so it was shaking all over the place, and you know, awful to ride. And so I bought 2 wheels with tyres from a lad. He had the same bike and he'd only done 7,000 miles, so I thought, well, I may as well put the wheels on and use the tyres up first. But I prefer the Supercorsas SC2s because they're just so sticky, there's so much confidence. I mean, these are alright, but when you're really pushing it and you just want to know that you've got all that grip. So yeah, it's been fantastic, this bike. It's got steering damper built in down there. That's always been good. I think it actually saved my life, that steering damper. As I always remember growing up, lads are going about having tank slappers, and I was sort of like, didn't really know, like, oh yeah, I'd agree with them, but what's a tank slapper? And you just think it's going over a rough road and you're out of control a bit, but these lads are going about it. Anyway, well, I had my first experience with a tank slapper on this, and I was going down a fast straight road, and the surface has changed. You know, they'd resurfaced it, so there's a little bump, and I was bombing along, and I just happened to accelerate just as I hit that bump, and it, fuck me, I don't know how I stopped on. The fucking bike was bouncing from side to side. It took my foot off the peg, and fuck me, I don't know what happened. It just fucking violently it took my leg off, and I just thought, I'm a goner. I was ready for impact, you know. Anyway, luckily it just straightened up, and I'm sure it was that steering damper. And I was it fucking scared me, did that. Anyway, straight home, took wheel off, I balanced it, and I didn't have a bar end weight. Everyone thinks, oh, what's bar end weights for? I had one missing, and I thought it'd be alright. Well, that was part of it as well. What's going on here? Wedding? Funeral? Wedding. So yeah, thanks Suzuki, because that, tell you, that steering damper saved my life. It really did. And everyone was in front of me, and I sort of pulled up to them, and they were like, oh, we thought you'd come flying past. And I was like, no, my heart's in my mouth. Yeah, so went home, got some new bar ends, balanced my front wheel. That always, having your wheel out of balance can throw your bike into a frenzy. Fucking hell. So yeah, as long as you fucking look after your bike, it'll look after you. And I was just taking it for granted a bit, really. But I mean, what I was going to say, I bought this double bubble screen for it. That's a fucking godsend as well. The standard screen, they're alright, but you know, they're not. You just need that extra bubble when you get down. You just need that protection. You know, when you're doing 100. I mean, I realised once I bought this bike, because I had to buy a new helmet, because my old helmet was so big it was just ripping my head off. The wind, it was fucking ripping my head off. I mean, I remember going down to the carriageway, looked at the side, the wind got on the visor and fucking pulled my head back, ripped the fucking visor right off and flying along, fucking tears rolling down my face. So that's when I decided to get some more streamlined and lighter helmet, you know, so you're cutting through the air better. And this, you know, this is a good helmet for that. Plugs as well, I always wear plugs. Fucking wind noise does my head in. And you get a lot on a bike like this. So, yeah, I got that double bubble screen. But you got to watch it on hot days. I left it out in the sun once and like, it magnified it and they melted me clocks. Melted front of clocks here. So you got to watch out for that. But I mean, I've heard about these bikes. There's one in, I think it was Fast Bikes, and this lad was a courier down London, and he, you know, was couriering away on his CB 500, whatever it was, and it fucking packed up. So he started using his Suzuki GSXR 1000. Well, he took his bike to the magazine and he'd done 100,000 miles on it. 100,000 miles out of this engine. So, you know, I've done nothing, have I? 40,000 miles. So he said he didn't take it over 10,000 RPM, but I do. But I mean, you know, it just shows if you look after your engine, how long it can last. Anyway, I'll get on for a bit. Open it up a little bit. But I just say I probably won't talk because of wind noise. And then I might stop and clean my camera. Some loads of flies. That's all you need. All you need is 6 gear. That's all you need. You just put it in 6 and it's fucking so much power. Oh, one thing, I wouldn't want to be throwing a Hayabusa around these B roads anyway. That's why this thing, it just does everything. You know, you can sit on motorway for 100 miles, comfortable. You can bomb down all B roads, A roads. It's just fantastic. Wheelies, fucking every gear just about. I mean, it's no surprise that this engine, it's what's in that new BMW, isn't it? The 1000RR. Just tuned a bit more, and it's just a fantastic bike. I can't give it praise enough. It's so torquey. Just touch that throttle. I mean, I didn't even open it right up. You just touch the throttle and it just goes. Oh, they put all new railings in here. That's great if you come off your bike in it. Might stop and clean my camera in a bit shit up. I always remember talking to a lad down at Devil's Bridge in Kirby Lonsdale, and I didn't want to upset him or anything. He just he pulled up on a Fireblade like what I used to have, a 98 model. No disrespect to anybody who owns a 98 model Fireblade, because they are fantastic bikes, and I have had one. He just sort of came over to me and sort of, what did you buy that for? What do you need that for? What do you need all that power for? And I just said, well, he said, you know, you spent, how much did you spend? And I said, well, when I bought it new, my new was $7 grand. And he was like, I bought that Fireblade for whatever it was, you know, a couple of grand, whatever. He says, why do you, it'll do 175. Why do you need, you know, what's the point in paying all that money for an extra few miles an hour, 187? But I just couldn't explain to him the difference. It just gets there so much quicker. It's just, you know, so much different power-wise. And you just can't, the handling, everything. You know, it's so nimble, throw it around. The Fireblade, you know, it had that 16-inch front wheel on it. I didn't like the quick wear tyre on the front. It was just felt dated. But I didn't want to upset him, so I didn't say anything. I just sort of went, yeah, you know, I shouldn't have bought it, and you know, just a bit crap. But anyway, if he's listening to this, this is why I bought this. But it's fucking fantastic. Oh, shit in the road. Yeah, you get that in the country, everywhere. You got to be careful. And I mean, my mate, I remember he had an R1, and he let me have a little half a day on that, and you know, it was, don't get me wrong, it was fast and everything, and I think it was a 2001 model, fast, and it was, and I liked it, but it had like a power band, you know, so you'd be sort of, I don't know, say if you pulled a wheelie and you'd get it up on back wheel and you'd be, you know, flying along, the next thing, this sort of, you could feel this power band kicking in, and just, you know, it wasn't very controllable. Whereas with this, it's just constant, it's just a massive dollop of torquey engine. It's brilliant. No surprises. It does what you do with your wrist, you know. You give it a bit and it's singing. There's no power bands, fucking daftness. It's I like it's more controllable, and I love torque. I mean, everyone goes on about these V-twins, don't they? Torquey, and I thought about getting one of them tunos, but then thought about it, and the naked out there, you know, no wind protection. I like wind protection. I mean, you get on a bike like this, you get up to 130, 40, 50. It's just fucking unbearable. It rips your head off. You've got to have something faring to get behind. So I fucked that idea off of getting an Aprilia tuno. Plus, I've heard they're fucking thirsty, and I mean, I know a lot of lads will just jump on a bike on a Sunday and it doesn't matter what they've bung in the tank, but I do quite a lot of miles and that. I like to get value for money, you know. I don't want to be bombing around, fucking costing me a fortune in fuel. This is fantastic on fuel. I mean, I always probably get about 50 miles, maybe 50, yeah, 50 miles a gallon, say, every time I go out, and that's, well, I'm not, I ride a bit faster than this. It's just I'm trying to keep the wind noise down. So yeah, I mean, I might even put a YouTube video on about how good it is on fuel, because I always fill it to brim and then do a ride and come back, fill it to brim again and work it out how much it's used. And you'll see that I'm not hanging about. I'll be passing everything, and 60 miles a gallon I think it's fucking good on a bike like this.